I get up today and I see 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for gathering an army bigger than the Spartans. God bless every single one of you, including you, Brian Fraud. Yeah, you're a wonderful person too. Just do a bit more research with the academics and try not to be so biased, okay? 714. You know this is gonna be a heavenly show when you got that much bright colors, bright upbeat music, and all these fantastic things. But the intro has dancing naked children! Seriously, why has nobody ever brought up the fact that the two main characters don't have their clothes on in the opening at one point? To quote Robbie Rotten, don't let your kids say this! Okay, calm down. Let's just get on with Your Lie in April. Your Lie in April is an anime that came out in 2016 based on the manga of the same name. It is essentially a high school romance, music, comedy, drama show about a piano prodigy by the name of Kousei, who's been having some personal struggles, especially problems relating to his late mother. And the poor soul is just so traumatized by the whole experience that he's given up his piano talents altogether. That is until he meets a bright, optimistic young girl by the name of Koari.
Two main characters have similar sounding first names.
Also, fellow anime fans, that first scene where we meet Koari, is it just me or does that tune sound awfully familiar? For copyright reasons, I'm not going to play the clip, but I'll play the tune for you. That is the trumpet theme from Castle in the Sky. Did you know that? Go watch Castle in the Sky. Get that scene up where Patsu is playing the trumpet. Thank me later. So Koari is very talented with the violin. And it is this bright young girl who is having a romantic interest, apparently, with one of Kousei's friends. And there's some other young lady who has a crush on Kousei.
Oh, making this love triangle. Haven't we seen that all over the place? But as you well know, in this modern society, there's no room for polygamy, so one boy and one girl will have to do the trick, I'm afraid. You know how the drama goes.
But I'm getting off track. Kaori sparks the passion in Kousei. Well, at least she's trying to, because Kousei really doesn't want to play the piano again. He's trying to avoid it to the point where he's practically neglected his classical piano in his room. But Koari has other ideas. She tries to spark the passion of piano playing in Kousei again by insisting that she go with him to this music competition. Throughout the show, there are various competitions. Some have a piano player and a violin playing together with classical music, and other times it's a single piano player with classical music. Will Kousei ever overcome his nightmares and stress? Who will Kousei romantically end up with in the end? Watch the show and find out. And this is one of those shows where a lot of people have said it made them cry like babies. I'm one of those people who's quite a bit of a toughie. I've kind of been there and done that with the way that certain stories are structured. And I'm sorry, this story didn't make me cry. I know. Calm down. I will say this. If you want to make this man cry, show me Violet Evergarden. I think it's mainly because I saw a certain event coming, and looking at one of the characters, I think people going into it would tell which of the characters is going to go through that event. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not going to give away any spoilers just in case you want to watch the anime. But fortunately, this is one of those shows that definitely gets you to genuinely care about the characters and all their struggles. And something I really admire about this anime is that the struggles are visualized in an excellent way. Like, for example, there's various scenes where Kousei is playing the piano, and due to his stress, he practically can't hear the notes. During tournaments, he'll be really stressed out with choppy frame animation, as well as occasionally going into his mind to him imagining him in the piano, practically drowning underwater and bubbles like coming out from the notes, and you're barely able to hear what's being played. But as Kousei gains more confidence in the piano, the music gets grander and grander, and there are certain scenes, even in the opening, where Kousei and Koari imagine themselves in big, wide open, Kingdom Hearts styles, infinite, watery lands with blue skies and clouds. You know that amazingly beautiful scenery where you have this watery floor that just goes on all the way to the horizon everywhere you look, and you got the sky around you, that kind of landscape. And someone who's really into visual storytelling, I love how they also use bright, vibrant colors to set the mood of every single scene, whether it be bursting with glory or monochromatic to suit the stress and the depression. The colors are muted at just the right moments, the colors are vibrant when they need to be, and the music is wonderfully varied. And of course, with the theme of classical music competitions, classical music wonderfully performed, especially with a bit of violin improvisation on Koari's part, which the judges don't like, but hey, she's a fan favorite. I mean, look at her, look at the smile on her face. No, really, look at that soul smile. She literally has lips,
which you don't often see that much in anime.
Usually she side smiles like this. The show also does a wonderful job with showcasing expressions. And sometimes they take a few shortcuts. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but there's a shortcut they take with the way they portray Kousei's glasses. So he's performing away, and he's performing glasses. So usually from this angle, you wouldn't quite properly see the eye. By removing this bit within certain frames, we get to see Koari's expressions. I don't know about you, but I'd love to get me some glasses where they have some glass here so that people can see my expressions. Because when it comes to visual storytelling like this, it's not always about techniques. It's about telling a story. It's about feeling. It's about creatively using every facet of the imagery to convey emotions, to provide the thematics of the story. Well, in the case of Your Lie in April, more so with the emotional side of things. And to an extent, they do quite well with the comedy. There's a reason I say to an extent, but I'll get to that later. There's a few simplified yet extreme expressions which often get a laugh. Even some basic ones. There are some toddler characters that have those little puppy dog eyes. There's these little toddler characters that have the little puppy dog smile and button eyes. Yeah, they kind of look like this, but much less terrifying.
Take me piano, Kousei!
That's terrifying. There's frequent scenes where, like, Koari will get these, like, triangular white eyes as she gets angry. And Kousei's like, oh, okay, don't hurt me! Which kind of adds a bit more nuance to the relationship. I also like certain scenes where the expressions are used to highlight a certain mood, like Koari has a sweet tooth. There's this one scene where she eats something sweet and she loves it so much she makes this little purdy balloon face. Like, it's a kind of uplifting kind of humor where no suffering needs to be involved. Although, if I were to critique this series for anything in particular, it's that the humor can often be a bit too weird at times. And I'm not alone in this critique. Like, there are some scenes where the humor can ruin some legitimately dramatic moments. Like, for example, people will be playing in the concert, and they will get really serious. You hear their inner monologues because the show is focusing more on their emotions rather than the techniques. And then all of a sudden, oh, I wonder how they'll do the show! And there I am, watching it on Netflix on my phone, just thinking, no, please be quiet. I'm trying to get into this guy's emotions. Or there's some other scene where Kousei is meeting up with the other competitors, and then suddenly one of them gets angry, and then a demonic teddy bear comes in to express their anger. Are we playing the new Persona game now? Teddy bears are not meant to go through that kind of abuse. Don't let the mean show get to you. Mwah. It's one of those instances where it's trying too hard to be funny at moments where it needed to focus more on the dramatic side of things. And while most of the character development is quite good. As much as the secondary characters are fun to see, there are some secondary characters who don't get as much development as others. I think the least developed characters is Kousei's best friend, who Koari is hanging out with romantically. This is a similar critique that my friend Jack Buist made, and whom this video was kind of inspired by. This character is just kind of there, playing baseball, and that's pretty much it, I guess.
I don't know. I think you're just trying to rip off Jack with his review of Your Lie in April.
I've got some originality.
You might want to train yourself up, dude. I think Jack's gonna hunt you down and kill you if he finds out that you don't really like the show as much as he does.
No, hey, I didn't say anything about that. I just made a few critiques about the humor.
Which is a real shame, because he's one of the main poster boys of this show, alongside our other poster boy, Kousei, and the two poster girls. Yeah, for a character who's shown in much of the main posters and the main titles of your own show, wouldn't a little more development be justified? Although, to be fair, his relation is revealed to a greater extent at the end, but to say that would spoil the show, so... Visually speaking, this show is a spectacle. Trust me, I'm a bachelor of the arts. I think I'm justified in saying that. They must have been paying attention to detail with the way they were playing their musical instruments. I mean, there must have been some point of reference to get that accurately. Not to mention the emotions when they're playing, and of course, the opening and closing. A lot of people gravitate towards the first opening, though I hear a few gravitating towards the second opening. The second ending of the first half of the show is quite awe-inspiring. Personally, though, I have a soft spot for the second ending of the second half of the show. I know what most of you are saying. How could you like that? It's depressing! Well, whilst both openings show the spectacle of the show to get you hooked in, with its gorgeously colorful, vibrant, snazzy style, the first ending gives you a sense of hope and inspiration. The second ending gives a sense of inevitability, which complements parts of the main source of drama in this show. One of the main characters is lying there, looking up at the sky with a tear in her eye. Although there's still a spectacle even in that ending. So, in an overall conclusion, I would have named the show one of my top favorites, but unfortunately, some of the unusual humor just backs it off from becoming a masterpiece in my eyes, which is such a shame because this show has a lot going for it. And I'd highly recommend it. Like, I have seen much better anime shows. Like, currently my favorite anime shows of all time are Cowboy Bebop and Violet Evergarden. But there's one thing I'm not going to deny. This anime show is just so much heart put into it that it's hard not to like it.
Although a lot of people on the internet do not like this show. Personal taste, I guess.
So, if you want a little slice of heaven, this show is so lovely, this show is so fun, I highly endorse it, you watch it at once!
Now available on Netflix via sub or dub.
I hear a lot of people love the dub version of Your Lie in April. What to rate this? I think I'm going to give this show a solid 9 out of 12. What do you think, Saitama?
I mean, say what you want, but it's still a spectacle.
Yeah, it's still a blessed spectacle.
Just endorse your channel already.
Okay, right. Like, subscribe, and click like for more anime reviews, I guess?
Dude, I could make a more consistent outro than that.
Okay, do so now.
Click like, subscribe. Bye. Oh, wow, they don't call you the One Punch Man for nothing. Keep being inspired, and always remember, the fact that we can appreciate aesthetic beauty, like music and animation, that can't be physically measured. So, perhaps that we should point to something more. That was deep.
I was lying on the ground as I looked up to the sky, recalling the sad part that broke many people's hearts, which featured a main character with a tear in her eye. This adds to the drama that this anime portrays. This song loves to mention an orange sky there. Yes, I do like that color too. If you didn't see this death coming, you must have missed something. You must have overlooked the context of her looking up to heaven. Why else would the baker's daughter lie there on the infinite water? I'm sorry, but I just thought I'd point that out. Barber, then like a shooting star, she soars through the sky like an angel there. As a light before our eyes, this is certainly a way to make an impression to the audience. It's the sort of song they'd love to play again. It's the sort of song they'd love to play again. Ring. Boom. Thanks for subscribing. God bless you.